on this blindfold. I think it's a very high chance there's a surprise party waiting for me. It would be more surprising perhaps if I'd taken the blindfold off and there was a firing squad there. That would have been genuinely surprising. But no, it was just a group of my friends looking a little bit awkward and shouting surprise, which was what I kind of expected. But I think probably there are scientific ways we can judge whether or not we really do like surprises. I've done some work on this recently, found some photographic evidence, show you some people who are surprised. Do they look happy about this? Does she look happy about the surprise? What about this next person? Does he look happy? Does he look pleased? Does he look like this is a pleasing part of his life? What about the next person? A lot of pleasure there, I would suggest. Next person. This person looks probably like he shouldn't be surprised, really. This has been coming on for a while, I would have thought. But, next person. Branching out now to other species. Genuine look of shock and terror. We've got a couple of cats, actually. Next cat. Kind of startled there. Next cat's a little bigger. That is a look of surprise, isn't it? That's a surprised lion. Actually, the scientists discovered that what this lion was actually thinking was, I've been round the supermarket, I've filled my trolley, I'm at the cash till, and I forgot my eco bags again. That's what he's saying. Right there, you can see it in his face. Okay, next one. Now that mouse, I would say that mouse looks prudish and judgmental. That's what he looks. Saying something he shouldn't. Next one. And this goldfish, not so much surprised, just deeply disappointed. So yeah, you get my point. We don't particularly like surprise. I think that Advent, starting right now is the Advent season, we're building up to Christmas, is one of the things that teaches us about what we're like, teaches us what we are as human beings. We actually enjoy pleasure by anticipating it. It's the looking forward to something that gives us a certain pleasure. Obviously, Christmas is meant to be a festival and a great joy to everybody. But building up to it means that you start to enjoy it already in the anticipation. In fact, you almost feel as though the anticipation is what gets you through the winter weeks. And so as soon as it turns December, as soon as the Advent season is upon us, especially if you're a parent, you're very aware that this season of joy is kind of upon you. The anticipation is part of the joy, part of the pleasure. And we enjoy it all the more because of it. But what about those times in life when we experience the anticipation of something longed for and it doesn't happen? Unfulfilled anticipation. And that's all too real in our lives. We experience that in a variety of ways, sometimes in trivial ways. We just turn up for something and the other person's not there, or we look forward to success in a certain area of life and it's not granted us. But it can get way, way more serious. Some of you this year, I'm sure, have gone through the pain of disappointment, perhaps on a big scale. Maybe you've longed to move house, and it may seem trivial at first, but actually to feel like you've got that deal and it's been months of expectation, anticipation, suddenly it's gazumped, you're beaten to it, or there's some kind of breakdown in the chain. Maybe more serious still, we long to enjoy having a family, we look forward to the possibility every month and then find out, well, once again we're disappointed. Maybe perhaps even darker, the disappointment of looking forward to birth and miscarrying. These sad experiences of life are all too characteristic, and they show us the significance of hope. We talk about hope as a positive thing. Perhaps for some of us, hope feels like a trick. Hope can be something that seems to betray us, and we lose patience with hope. We begin to feel what the Bible describes in Proverbs chapter 13, when it says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. The kind of sickness of heart that leaves us jaded and thinking, what's the point? Why did I ever hope in the first place? Hope has betrayed me. Hope has left me cold and sorrowful. And then you add to that, perhaps, if you have a faith in God, if you've over the years perhaps tried to pray, tried to take God seriously, the possibility that you put your hopes in a God, some God out there that might hear you, might answer your prayer and might meet your need, and go through the horrible experience sometimes of it seeming as though not only has he not answered your prayer, but on some occasions, being honest with you personally, it's felt to me as though he's almost led me on. Things that I thought he was going to answer, things that all the signs were good for, and then it was kind of snatched away at the last moment. Life can be genuinely like that, to the point where we really would be foolish not to stop and consider, what's the point of hope? Doesn't hope in the end kid us and taunt us, and should we even be bothered with hope? Well, the Bible itself doesn't hide these problems. The Bible puts them right up front and center. The Bible is extremely honest, brutally honest, about the dangers of unfulfilled hope. In fact, you could say that the whole Christmas story points to this. We see in the Christmas story a nation, a whole group of people, a terribly stricken people who suffered for many years from oppression, from all kinds of marginalization and struggles with poverty and hostility from other nations and empires for many, many years, waiting for the moment when, as a nation, they will have their hopes fulfilled, when their rescuer, their God, will turn up on the scene and redeem them and show how good he is and keep his promises and restore them to the glorious nation they were always meant to be. But the truth is that the Bible shows us with real honesty that it was hundreds of years of waiting, and such waiting, such bitter waiting, it seems, at many points, for the Messiah, the rescuer, the Saviour to come. So much so that when Jesus is announced, when the angels start showing up at Mary's house and there's these various whispers and rumours of hope, it's only really a minority of people that are alive to it anymore. Most people weren't ready for Jesus. I guess most people had begun to get a little bit bitter and sour towards the prospect of hope. I guess that can happen to us. If we get jaded, we get to the point where, why would I take the idea of God seriously? Why would I take the promises of the book? Why would I take the idea of a heaven seriously, and judgment, and God dealing with the wrong things in the world, and one day bringing everything right, and showing what's right and wrong, and all the injustices and all the things that are wrong with the world being set right? Why should I hope for that to ever really happen? Is that likely? Is that going to really, truly take place in time and space? Or is that just a nice figment, a nice mythical idea that just cons people? We get to the point where we're frightened of hope. Maybe you've seen that powerful film, The Shawshank Redemption, about inmates in a maximum security prison in a
it, you can sing along. Come on, let's stand to our feet. Let's sing the second verse together. We'll sing it to the end. Take a seat. We're actually going to have a 2-minute break in a moment. Before we do, we're actually going to take up an offering tonight. We're going to take up an opportunity to give. All the money that we're going to raise tonight is going to one of our charities called Friends First. No one here is being paid on this stage. We're all here just as volunteers. We love this event. We love you guys. We want to put on great music. But as we all go home to bed tonight and live in houses and homes with beds and with roofs, as we all know, there's a city with lots and lots of people who are homeless and don't have beds and warm houses to go to. What Friends First does is help give people a hand out of that situation, not just homelessness, but helping actually get people back on the track to employment, helping people on paths to employment. People may have been out of a job for many years, maybe on the street for a long, long time, not just giving them a bed and a home, but helping people get back on their feet, get right, and find upskill in different ways and find employment. That's one of the ministries of our church. It's called Friends First. All the money that we're going to raise tonight is going 100% to Friends first. So can I invite you and ask you, let's be generous tonight. We're not giving to anyone else here. We're giving to a great charity. If you're a guest here or anyone here, there's no pressure to give. But let's be generous tonight just to the people of our city and a great ministry to serve them. So we're going to have a 2-minute break. Don't run away. It's not quite long enough to go to the toilet. And the last time I checked, 750 people can't get out of here and back again in 2 minutes. So don't try. It'll just be a quick one. We haven't got a really long second half, so don't worry. If you need a wee, do hold it. Or if you can, or do it on Joel. Surprise! No, don't do that. We're going to take 2 minutes. Some containers to go around. No pressure to give. If you feel moved by that or by what's going on tonight, please give generously to our Friends First charity. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Yes, I believe in this. I just want to encourage you, invite you, if you sing these songs and this is arising in you, do feel free just to physically express yourself with that. You're totally welcome to do that. Equally, hands in pockets, whatever you want. Just enjoy tonight. But I guess I'm just saying, free to just worship to these songs or just sing them along. But let's sing together. Hark Herald. Just going to introduce our next performer. She actually rocked up this church a couple of years ago and interned with us as a church. Amazing vocal ability. Also an amazing person who loves God and incredible story to tell. But tonight she's going to grace us with her brilliant vocals. Put your hands together for Louisa Madison. Louisa Madison. And Lewis Morgan on drums. While you're at it, our amazing string quartet here. More chance to thank the band a little bit later. We're coming towards the end of our night. Sad times. This next song is a big theme for us as a church, as you'll hear in a minute. Do you know we're actually changing the name of our church? We have been called Church of Christ the King for many years now, abbreviated CCK, maybe that's how you know this church. After a lot of just team thought, we've actually decided to change the name of the church this January the 1st, so we will no longer be Church of Christ the King or CCK. Do you know what we're going to be called? We are changing the name to Church of the Latter-day Jedis. Amazing. Who's clapping? The force is strong with you. This is good. No, we're not. We are changing the name of our church to Emmanuel. Emmanuel. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Emmanuel literally means God with us. And that is the theme of God, Christ coming to earth through a baby, God with us through humanity, also God with us now by his Spirit, and God with us as a church, God with us as a city. So that's why we're called Emmanuel. And that's why this next song is a big theme for us. It is, of course, O Come, Emmanuel. And to sing it again, put your hands together for the wonderful Louisa Madison. take our seats. Have you had a great evening? We're celebrating the man, Jesus Christ. I've got two things to say before we go downstairs and enjoy some of Jim's mulled wine. Just two things quickly. Firstly is this. If you enjoyed tonight, if you enjoyed the vibe, the music, and what's going on, even some of the message, we'd love to invite you back. We actually meet here every Sunday. Next Sunday morning, we have our family service. Anyone, family, kids, we've got Santa's Grotto. Santa is actually here. We've managed to get him in. It's amazing. He's got a busy calendar, particularly in December, wrapping all those kinds of things. He's going to be here. Who knew? Next Sunday, the service is at 10:30, but come early. We've got breakfast at 9. Breakfast! Also, a kids choir have been learning some songs. They're going to be performing us in the morning. So that's a family service. If you're a family person, come next Sunday. Next Sunday evening, if you're more of a night owl, Megan, Laura, May will be back on stage, doing some more carols, leading us in some of these amazing songs. That's in the evening. It'll be quite a carols by candlelight vibe. We put out 100 candles all around this building. That's next Sunday, a week today, 6 p.m. Do come along. And the week after that, even more, 2 weeks' time, we have a big traditional carol service. We've got a 60-piece choir, another string quartet, like a master organist. Again, an amazing, really Christmas evening. So these next few Sundays coming up, if you enjoyed this evening, if you've never been to a church before, we're here every Sunday. We'd love to invite you. 10:30 in the morning, 6 p.m. in the evening. The second thing I'd love to say is this. We really believe that life is actually done better when it's not on your own, but with people, with other people. And as a church, we run loads and loads of small groups. What's a small group? It's a group that's small. Isn't that clever? I don't know, some marketing genius thought that in our church somewhere, but it's amazing. Small groups, loads and loads of different groups, community groups of 8, 9, 10, 12 people, gathered for different interests. There's a cycling small group, there's a different pubs in Brighton, small group, different restaurants. Some people like to eat at each other's homes. Why are we doing that? It's just to get to know friends in Brighton who want to learn a bit more about spirituality. Come and meet some people on the same page, discuss, welcome all different kinds of people. But we're launching in January like a whole 50 new small groups. I'm sure there'll be one for you. Loads and loads of different interests. Whatever your bag, there'll be one for you. Even if you're just a bit lonely right now, you'd like to meet some new people. This is a great community and doors are open. We'd love to welcome you to come be part of it. Those are the two things from me. The next few Sundays do come along. If you want to come and find a community, come join us well in January. Well, it's not the end of the evening. Downstairs we've got mulled wine and mince pies. Can we give one more huge thank you to the band? Would you like to know what Jim just said? Have we got one more in us? The question is, have you got one more in you? Let's stand together. We're going to invite back to the lead mic, Brittany Murray. Who's going to lead? This is probably the last year we're going to do the song in a while and this arrangement, so we're going to make most of it. Let's sing together. Joy to the world. It's happened! It has happened. That is the official launch of the after party downstairs. Help yourself to bowl wine, mince pies, they're totally on us. Is this true, isn't it, Jim? No, they're not. They're on you. That's good. Do come and join us next Sunday. Join a small group in January. Thanks so much for coming out. We'll see you soon.